What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coach Sean's Kitchen. We're back with another edition of Low Carb Fast Food, and we're taking on Low Carb Buffalo Wild Wings. Is Buffalo Wild Wings keto friendly? No. The wings are breaded and the sauces are loaded with added sugar. We can do better at home. My goal today is to create chicken wings in the oven that are crispy without having to bread them. And how am I gonna do this remaining keto and low carb? You'll have to stick around to find out. This is Coach Sean's Kitchen. So before we get started, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I can't begin to explain how much subscribing to your favorite YouTube channels helps the creators continue to make more content. So we're gonna start off our low carb chicken wings by making our sauces. Let's begin with that Asian zing sauce. Into our bowl, we're gonna add some soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar, and I was out of rice wine, so I decided to use whiskey instead. Next up, let's throw in some chili garlic sauce. Then we'll stir it up and set it aside. Now let's go ahead and prep our fresh ingredients. I'm gonna mince up some ginger and some garlic. The use of these fresh ingredients is what's really gonna set apart our sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. Once that is done, we're gonna head over to the stove and we're gonna heat up some sesame seed oil over medium heat. Once it's shimmering, we'll go ahead and add in our garlic and our ginger, and we're gonna saute for 1 to 2 minutes or until it's fragrant. Next, we're gonna throw in some red chili flakes. After all, this Asian zing sauce does need a little bit of zing. We'll go ahead and pour in that soy sauce mixture that we made a moment ago. And then we're gonna keep stirring and allow this sauce to thicken up slightly just for a few minutes. Once the sauce has hit the consistency we want, I'm gonna pour it back to that mixing bowl and we're good to go. The next thing we're gonna make is that Parmesan garlic sauce. And to start off, we're gonna roast some garlic. So I've got 6 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna put in a small ramekin along with some olive oil, and then I'm gonna put that in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. Full disclosure, Parmesan garlic is not one of my favorite flavors at Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's one of Leah's favorite flavors, and it lends itself to a keto sauce so well that we had to include it. So while the garlic is roasting, we're gonna put some mayonnaise in a bowl along with some of that Swerve sweetener that we love to use. Now, it wouldn't be Parmesan garlic sauce without a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan. So I'm gonna grate about 2 tablespoons into that bowl, and then I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar and some lemon juice for some acidity. Then we'll toss in some salt and some spices. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find this full recipe at my blog. Once that is good and mixed, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that garlic out of the oven, which has my whole house smelling amazing. I'm gonna retrieve it out of that ramekin, give it a little mash with my fork, and then I'm gonna add it to that Parmesan mixture along with some of that now garlic infused olive oil into that bowl. We'll mix it up and then this sauce is ready to go. Now let's get on to the main ingredient of our low carb chicken wings, the chicken wings. So we've got a little bit of prep work to do here. So I'm gonna begin by breaking down my chicken wing into 3 separate components. The first thing I'm gonna do is cut off that wing tip. Next, we need to separate the drum from the drumette. So if you give it a little bit of a pop, you can feel where that joint is and create a little bit of space that you can slide your knife through that wing. Then you've got a drumstick and a drumette that are ready for some seasoning. Now, I love traditional wings. I think the bone adds a tremendous amount of flavor. But there's a whole army of people out there that love the boneless, which in my opinion is just a glorified chicken nugget. But if that's what you like, go ahead and cube up some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and you can use that in place in this recipe. The next thing I'm gonna add is some baking powder. Yes, baking powder. So there's a whole mess of science out there where the baking powder increases the pH of the chicken wing skin, which helps it brown faster. I don't really understand it, I just know that it works. So we'll also add some salt, some pepper. We'll toss the wings to make sure they're thoroughly coated. Then I'm gonna line them on a baking sheet over a sheet pan, and I'm gonna put them in a 425-degree oven for 40 minutes. And I'll flip them once about the halfway point. So while the wings are in the oven, I'm gonna whip up some wing dip, aka ranch dressing. So I'm gonna grab some more of that homemade mayonnaise, and I'm gonna add to that some sour cream and some milk. Normally when I make this recipe, I reach for buttermilk, but I didn't have any lying around. And you'll see in a second that this dip came out a lot thinner than I would want to, and that's the reason why. Anyways, we'll throw some lemon juice in there, some traditional ranch seasoning like dill, parsley, and chives. We'll mix it up, and then our ranch dressing is good to go. So it's been 40 minutes, and looking at our wings, you can see that they came out great. I was thoroughly surprised with how crispy that baking powder made the skin. Now onto the fun part, toss in the sauce. There are very few things in this world that feel as rewarding as tossing your homemade chicken wings in a sauce that you homemade. It was just so enjoyable and such a fun part of the process. As far as how they tasted, the Parmesan garlic was insanely good. The sauce was so thick and creamy, the flavors were so bold, but it wasn't overpowering. The Asian zing wings, I was a little nervous because this is one of my favorite flavors at Buffalo Wild Wings, but it came out so good, and I think I have to thank that fresh ginger and garlic that we used that really set this sauce off. Let me know in the comments which wing you're more excited to try, the Parmesan garlic or the Asian zing. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coach Sean's Kitchen. And if you want to see more episodes like Low Carb Fast Food, please like this video and subscribe. I can't explain how much that helps YouTubers create more content. So thank you guys for tuning in, and just remember, you can make anything homemade and healthy.